Welcome to the Abundant Life Center's service for, oh, let's see, gotta get my calendar here, for November 9th, 2025. Opportunity. And today, we're really fortunate to have Reverend Carol Becker lead our discussion. So, see what interesting information she has for us to ponder today. But we'll begin our service by lighting the God candle. This candle is a symbol of the one power in the universe called by many names, and the name you choose to use for the divine is welcome here. So, I don't know if you guys can see this. So there's the lighted candle. All right. And we begin our service with an opening song. So Eric is going to play.
No, we have our beliefs
sorry,
first.
our beliefs. I'm looking at an old guide. Our beliefs. So today, because it's the first Sunday of the month, we're going to share our beliefs. Our beliefs. Divine love is the source from which all of life flows. The direct experience of that ultimate source is available to all. All life is a unique expression of the divine to be revered. We co-create our world with the ultimate source and with each other through consciousness. There is truth and wisdom in all spiritual paths. We choose the path of love. Now we're going to have our opening song. It's A Blessing Day by Donna Lynn. That's such a nice song. All right. Well, we're going to move into a meditation called Develop Your Inner Peace.
Thank you, Eric. That was perfect.
So, Carol, do you want to share with us what your topic is for today?
Well, when I'm stuck for something to talk about, when I don't have an inspiration, I go to a couple of the people whose thoughts I follow, and one of them happens to be Rick Hansen. Rick Hansen is a senior fellow of the Greater Good Community at UC Berkeley. So what he's talking about today is changing the channel. So sometimes we get just overwhelmed with things that are happening. Maybe you have a chronic illness, a pain, you're worried about someone in the world, a friend, a child, someone you love anyway. Or maybe you have had the experience of having the bottom fall out of your life financially. Whatever it is, whatever that awful thing that has your mind just whirling and whirling and your chest feeling like a nest of bees. And sometimes our inner practices fail us, or at least they're not matched to the pickle we're in. So you've got to let be and let go and let in and change the channel. Take some action. Watch TV, something simple to get your mind off of what has been in a whirl. Eat an apple, ask for a hug, get out of the house. Do something, not harmful something, but something to distract yourself, to tune out. At some time, you will really have to go back to that. But for now, you just need some respite. You need some pleasure. You need to take some time out, change the channel, and refuel for your challenges. The thing about changing channels on your own behalf is a way to do self-care, but this also helps counter the natural feeling that sometimes comes from helplessness through tough times. So you know that you can be in charge, you can change the channel. And it supports the feeling that you and your needs truly matter. So, for starters, give yourself permission to change the channel. Sometimes people get stuck in a situation, a relationship, a feeling, and think it's more noble, more awake, more mindful, accepting, or therapeutic to stay with it, even if it hurts like crazy and isn't going to get any better. So let's not err on the side of suppressing feelings or running from the first hint of discomfort, but also let's not err on the side of running laps around a track in hell. Do something. It doesn't have to be ambitious, and usually the simpler, the better. Physical pressure, which can calm down the stress machinery of your brain, like running water over your hand, rolling your head around your neck. Smell an orange. Look at a flower. Treat your body well. Eat some protein. Take a nap. Go for a walk. Do vigorous exercise if you can, and remember your vitamin. Broaden your perspective. Look out the window. Consider your situation from a bird's eye view, from a more impersonal angle. Consider how someone who deeply loves you would look at it. Think about it amidst the 7 billion other humans, or in the sweep of history. Of course, not to diminish or dismiss your own problem. Entertain yourself. See a movie. Listen to music. Go watch a show. Look at Red Bull stunts, concert videos, amazing pong shots. I don't know what a pong shot is, by the way. Or rock climbing on YouTube, which Rick finds as his favorite. Set something in order. Exercise control somewhere. Because the other thing that's back there, you need to leave alone for a while and control other things in your life. He says when he's depressed, he makes his bed. Or he does really simple things like folding one pair of socks. Connect with others as long as you don't feel overwhelmed by it. Call a friend. Pet your pet. Sit in a coffee shop full of strangers and enjoy the bustle. Go somewhere that feeds your heart. Maybe sit under a tree, by a stream, a lake, or a sea. Perhaps a church or a temple. Or a park with children playing, a museum or a garden. And he closes with this. Every life has hard times sometimes. And some lives are terrible all the time. Do what you need to do. It's okay to change the channel. And that's our story today. Change the channel when you're overwhelmed.
Okay. So Does anybody, does this bring to mind for anyone times when they've changed the channel on things that they're feeling overwhelmed about and how they felt when they did it? Linda?
I'm not going to answer exactly that question, but I'm going to share you what
Okay.
came to mind as she spoke, um, which relates to that, but it's different. I can remember years and years ago, I don't know if it was in my 30s or when, but I made a list of the things that made me happy. Little things like have sitting in the car and seeing a clean hood, standing in the sunshine, just those kind of things. Because when I was having a hard time, I couldn't remember what they were. It doesn't come to mind automatically to do it. And sometimes it's really hard and it doesn't come to mind what they are. But
Uh-huh.
and I've gone back to that from time to time, kind of remembering what those things are. Um,
And it's different for all of us, and that's a wonderful idea. I'm going to start a list.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the key things I took from that, I related to so many of those diversions that you referenced, going for a walk, petting a pet, going out in the garden, sitting in the sun, whatever. But I think what came to my mind was that I need to get out of myself. When you're feeling so overwhelmed or upset about anything, whether it's personal, relational, financial, you're not going to fix the problem by worrying about it and making yourself feel sick. And if you get outside yourself and do something with or for somebody else that makes you feel better, and you can get a different perspective, and sometimes just stepping away and letting go all those worry thoughts, something will pop into your mind that may be the solution that you hadn't consciously thought about, but it's your inner guidance working silently while you're, like you said, letting go. So I love that idea. And, it makes me think about the world situation now. And if you watch all the news, you can make yourself sick to your stomach. So it's good to know what's going on, but not good to dwell on it and just go outside and do something nice for the universe or call a friend.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I think the hardest part is really to disengage, to recognize that you need to disengage because it's one of these cycles. It is just running, it's running, and you need to say, okay, now I need to stop that. So I
Mhm.
think the first thing is the acknowledgement that you are doing that. And then accept that you're doing that. If you reject it, you just keep on anchoring it into your own system. And when I mean system, not only mind, but also your energy and your body, your cells. And again, well, that's how you make yourself sick, right? Because you own it, you anchor it, you own it, and you hold on to it.
Mm.
I was working on a problem with my computer as I was trying to get Google Workspace to recognize my inbox on my new website. I tried everything I could think of. I even went to Google, I went to AI, I went everywhere, and I was just going around and around in circles and making absolutely no progress anywhere. And I finally realized I was making no progress anywhere. And once I realized that, I knew I had to get away from it. And so I just shut the computer down, and I think I went and actually made my bed and hung up some clothes that I'd washed but hadn't hung up yet. So I was focusing on something else when the part of me that knows stuff said, just do one freaking thing, Carol. Don't even worry about the whole project. Just do one thing on your project. And so I just went back and did the one thing. And then the day went better in general. I didn't get the problem solved, but I wasn't acting like I had a nest of bees in my chest anymore. I was just working.
The other thing that I was reminded of as you read that, and I didn't get it when this was shared to me. There's a little back in the days when we were in the old library, there was shared a pamphlet, Think Only God. And the concept or the instruction was, if you aren't in a good space, just think God, 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 I guess. Anyway, think only God, again, distract. And I was listening to a friend who had been through a really hard time, and she went and prayed at her church a lot. And I thought that's that same concept. Think only God if you're, in prayer and such. So anyway, those are a couple things that came to mind in this light.
Yeah, like you said, getting out of yourself,
Mhm.
or someone said.
I stumbled across an interesting article this morning, and the title of the article was "How to Find Happiness," and it went into a lot of things. But anyway, there was a project where they were giving young adults that they chose randomly $400 to pursue a passion, whether it was a personal something that they wanted to do for themselves or something that they wanted to do for other people, to help people focus on what it is that makes you that brings you joy. And it was, there were no limitations on how you could spend this $400, but it was like a serendipitous um, amount of money to pursue your passion. And they found after this end of the study that compared to the young adults that didn't get the $400, those that got the $400 and pursued something that made them happy were much happier people. So if you if you had an imaginary random windfall of money that you could do anything with that might make you happy, what would it be that you would spend that money on? And, even if you don't have the $400, try and figure out what it is that you would do with that windfall and how it can increase your happiness. So I can find the article and I can share a link to it with Cheryl, and she can share that with other people, because I'm sure I'm not paraphrasing it correctly. But
Yeah, I mean, again, it's energy, right? Remember, when you make somebody else happy, their energy will impact you too. So you don't make yourself necessarily only happy by doing the action, but by the fact that you made somebody else happy, you get this energy back, is reflected to you, okay, to make you happy. So it's kind of a, it's you give, but you receive at the same time.
Yeah, that reminds me, I haven't seen your article, Kay, and this just goes in a similar direction to what Eric's talking about. I think I've seen a TV coverage of people that were given money and then they went out and gave it away to other people. And like Eric said, the joy they got from giving money to somebody else that needed help brought them more joy than if they had just spent it on themselves.
yeah.
Well, that's interesting, because as I was thinking about that $400, what could I do with that? Well, I could pay my bills. Would that bring me joy? No, not really. And then I thought, okay, what about buying some new piece of equipment or something for my computer, or no, that would be nice, but it wouldn't make me happy. And I thought, what about donating the money to the veterans, American veterans? And I said, yeah, that would make me happy. So, yeah, helping somebody else with that money is what would make me happy. The others would be okay, shrug my shoulders, good, that's nice to have. So I am one of those people that gets happiness from helping others.
Yeah.
I like to think about the reflection. What is the reflection of what I think and what I do and how I am in the world? And what comes to my mind when I think of that? Billy Joel's first record album, way back when he was a little boy, 18 years old and playing the piano. He made his first album, and the name of his album is Piano Man. And that's how he presented to the world. And he made his album. He went out in his garage and created this vinyl place and recorded it and did all that. And then he made the album cover. He took a picture of himself and put it on the album. Then it said Piano Man. And there he was, and how he was in the world and how he reflected that. And then he turned the album over. He couldn't think of what to put on the back of the album. You know what he did? He took the negative of the print that he put on the front and turned it wrong side out. And that's on the back of his album, is his own reflection. And I love that concept of the reflection of how we are. I guess, I don't know if you can hear me with my audio thing. Am I buzzing? Is it weird?
No.
No.
You're fine.
Okay. And so anyway, that how we reflect the whole concept of reflection and refraction and what comes with who we are in the world and how that reflects back to us and our thoughts and our feelings and what we put out into the world, and all of that is interesting to me. It's fun.
You know how he got his this name, Piano Man, right? He was playing in the bar before he did his album, and they called him the Piano Man. He was just a bar where people just went in at the end of the day, tried to pop
And he
themselves
had
up.
a jar up there, and they bring him coffee or beer or whatever he wanted, and they put money in the little jar, and he'd sing us the song, "You're the Piano Man."
Right.
And it's like, oh, that's who I am. I'm the Piano Man. And he had to take a picture of himself and how he presented it, and then he turned it wrong side out and printed the opposite of that on the back of the album. And he did that out in his garage, where he didn't have tools or equipment or anything. And that's so amazing to me when I think about the magic of how it all happens and the reflection of who we are and how we not walk toward, but we walk away, and people could see the back of your head while you're walking away. And it's like, oh, who is that? What is that?
And I like your idea of reflection too, because doing that kind thing of helping somebody, as Kay brought up, is a reflection of your own values. What gives you joy is a reflection of your own values.
Another aspect to that is the authenticity that you can bring to it. If you say today I'm going to give something to somebody, right? It's not the same as if spontaneously from your own heart you give it. It doesn't have the same effect for the person, but also for you, because it's like, okay, my mission is to give somebody something now. Okay, I've done my mission, checked. That's not that's not it. Got to feel it. It's got to come from deep, from. Well, it will if you're authentic about it. It will automatically come from there.
And I've watched Paul as he's gone through his life get a great deal of pleasure from meeting his neighbors and chatting with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Paul, you're muted if you'd like to share anything. Hey,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I plan to go see my neighbors here when we're done with this program. Um, all I got to do is get the dog hooked up and go out there and just do whatever, react to whatever happens. I usually come back refreshed and with a little more confidence in myself that I can do normal things and quit babying myself.
Well, you also have the right to baby yourself for a little bit. I mean, it's a big transition you're going through. And you can change the channel and go outside and go for a walk. But it's all a process.
Well, I
And
got a
part of
good
what
day.
Carol shared was take care of your body, take care of yourself, treat yourself well.
Today I woke up and I have no pain anyplace.
Yay.
So I'm just acknowledging it.
Yay.
It's I'm going to take the day and do the best I can with it.
That's perfect. Laurel, how do you change channels when you're
You're muted
overwhelmed?
still, Laurel.
How do you get out of your head and into something else?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know there are different ways. I don't know. I've been trying to think about it, and unfortunately I have a chronic situation going on with my son, and it's very difficult.
And how do you take a respite from that?
Well, it's almost impossible.
But almost, you said almost. So what do
I
you
mean, I
do?
go to work, so that gets me away from the situation.
You go visit people up in Seattle or someplace up there?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but speaking on a day-to-day basis, probably. If it's a work day, I go to work and that gives me a
I
break
don't
and
know if it's mine that's lagged.
distracted. It just distracts me a little bit. I mean, just different staring out a window. I tend to stare out the window a lot. I don't like to go outside quite as much as I used to. I used to love to go outside, and it's not, I don't really, I do go outside sometimes, but not as much as I used to. And reading, I love to read and listen to the radio. That's one of my favorite things to do. So I love to listen to that old station and that old music. So probably kind of like that.
That's interesting because when I'm doing taxes and I don't know if it's agitated or just frustrated or what, but I stop and I turn on smooth jazz.
Yeah. Yeah, it does tend to distract, I think, kind of your logical mind
Right.
and pulls it back a little bit, gives it some comfort, gives you a small break from it.
Yeah.
It's funny, Carol, if I turned on smooth jazz, I'd be more irritated.
Yeah, that's funny.
Music amazing. For me, music, I think of music, and what kind of music would you talking about change the channel or turn the page or whatever you're talking about. And it's easy for me to do that with some weird kind of music, and think about a concert. Like I went to see Pink Floyd once and I was like loaded when I got there. And he comes out in this big dirigible, this big pink balloon, and they come down like that. And And then they play Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh,
And it's
my.
like, oh God, and I remember that. And I remember what that felt like. And I was at William and Mary College on the East Coast. I didn't know where I was. And I'd been in a tequila drinking contest with some Navy friend or somebody, and I probably won, and it was like, what is this? What is it? What am I doing? And then I got these memories that I can remember, and like Billy Joel, when he made that record album we're talking about, he's a kid. Since then, he's been married like 5 times. I don't know how many kids. His kids are all grown up. And you look at his life, and he's got the same kind of neurological disorder that I have. And he falls off his piano bench if he's not careful, and all this stuff happens to him. And he's got to like figure out how he's going to deal with that and how he's going to make his music not just around that, but with that. Make the music of who he is and put that into the world and let people either love it or hate it. And that's up to them what they want to do. And if they want to hate it and listen to it, that's what they can do too. Or if they want to hate it and turn it off, you can do that. So it's like all the choices that we have about what we're going to do with that. That's fun.
So I love thinking about metaphysical things and that we're all energy, and that somehow we've created this belief that we're separate beings in this field of energy. At the same time, I love finding ways to deal with what I'm dealing with today as that separate being in this field of energy.
Cindy, I just want to acknowledge that we're happy that you're coming along. We're coming along for a ride with you somewhere.
You are?
It's good to see you.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you're not
You're still
unmuted.
muted. Let me help you.
You figured out how you can unmute somebody, Eric?
No, I can say ask to unmute.
There she is.
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am riding along with John, and we've just been up in the beautiful little town of Paradise, California, the town that burned, I think, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It's one of his friend's 80th birthday, and so I thought, well, we're just driving along going towards Reading now, and I wanted to see if I've never gotten on the phone, so I thought this would be fun. And I could just add that that my brain default is to try to think of everything I can do to solve something. If I'm having a problem, it's like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Maybe this would work. Well, they did this and it worked, and so I basically I think I spend too much energy thinking about it, but lately I found one of the things I can do that helps me is whatever problem I'm having, I minimize it by thinking of all the other things that are going on in the world, and that helps me when I think, oh geez, I got to go to the store and I'm out of this, or just little things. I go, well, maybe it sounds a little morbid, but I think of children in Palestine or something, or I just think of how in my life, basically my problems are really small, and I can, people have mentioned, if I get into a really good movie or a really good book, or there's certain music that will sort, what they say, take me away. So, basically, I feel like my life is overall, it's blessed, and my problems are minimal. And of course, I agree with everybody. When I help somebody else, it feels good. So just kind of riding along with all you guys, all your ideas. Very good.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, we're just about to turn off to a little restaurant and have some breakfast. So I'm glad I got to ride along for a while.
Where are you guys going for breakfast?
Well, right, where are we, John?
We're in Los Molinos.
We're in
Oh, okay.
Los Molinos.
All right.
What's the name
So-
of the place?
I'm not sure. But
Oh.
it's been a while since I've been there.
Let's see.
May not even be open.
Oh, we don't know. Some little localish breakfast place. It's fun
Yeah.
to try local instead of going to the big chain. So
Yeah, there's not a lot going on in Los Molinos.
So you're not on I-5, no? You're not
No,
on
no,
I-5.
they're off on the highway. It
99.
goes through
Oh, yeah,
to
we're on-
99.
yep, we're on 99.
They're
You
on the
guys-
other road to Red Bluff, the
Right.
back road to Red Bluff.
Fun to think about what you're gonna eat too. Are you gonna eat eggs? Are you gonna eat hot cakes? I know a big waffle with one of those things with stuff all on it, or
Oh,
some
yeah.
kind of thing that is like something about the community where you are and somebody's making it for you and doing all that.
Yeah.
I give you a hint, Arlene. It's called Los Molinos.
What do you
Las
mean?
what?
It's gonna be eggs and beans.
Eggs and
Oh,
beans
yeah.
because it's Mexican, because the name of the town is Mexican.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
maybe you'll have some beans. Yeah, some beans or a burrito or something with yogurt or sour cream or something goopy on
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cindy, I visited Paradise.
You
I
what?
had some friends that lived up there, and I visited
Oh.
them overnight. And
Oh.
I spilled coffee on their keyboard.
Is that before or after the fire? Because
Before.
Okay,
Before.
then the coffee on the keyboard is no longer a problem.
That's another good. You have a problem, and then you get a bigger problem. The other problem goes
Yeah,
away.
they weren't living there when the fire happened.
Mhm.
But the place had just become empty because the last, I don't know whether it was her father or her mother, had just gone into memory care. And so when the place burned down, she actually inherited it. And she created a retreat in Montana for charismatic Christians.
Hmm. Oops, Cindy stalled out on us. So there.
It was, and then when I started seeing John, I didn't know he spent 9 years of his childhood growing up in Paradise.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a beautiful little town, but boy, that fire devastated it. That would be that's a real problem to try to solve or, get respite from for a while.
I haven't even been able to bring myself to go up there. Every time we go to Chico, we don't go to Paradise. Just
Yeah.
because I don't even want to see it.
Yeah, you've seen it in its better days. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So change the channel.
Yeah, I changed my channel. I just think about how comparatively small my problems are. Plus, now that I'm in my 70s, it's like, gosh, life is just a blank, and don't take it so serious. But that's easy. I don't have all the issues of I had when I was younger, so that makes it easier. But now I'm heading for I don't know, what kind of disease am I going to get?
Don't claim that.
That's
No,
right.
no,
Don't
Yeah,
claim
no,
it.
I'm headed for a fun little restaurant somewhere here.
All right. Well, let us know how you like it.
Okay.
It's important to remember, I think, about the mark we leave on the world. I've been thinking a lot about when I was a drug counselor, I had kids, in the group, and they would sit on the floor. And one kid, he would always call me ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And it was like, It didn't feel like that shoe fit me at all, but it didn't matter because that's what he got back from him. And it was okay. And I'd get hugs from him. And he wore these bib overalls. And you know what he did as he learning about himself and growing? He made his hair kind of this blue, purple color. And he would sit on the floor and lean his head up against the wall. And there would always be a blue spot on that wall. And that was kind of like his place. And lately I've been wondering, I wonder if that blue spot is still on that wall. You know, I'm
Oh.
not sure if anybody knows what that blue spot is. It's on that wall that he left in that room, you know, when he was doing some of his work. And who know? Well, what about the work that I did? What about that song I taught the kids about that saxophone player, you know? And
Yeah.
and how much of that do they care? And Boots Randolph, you know, and all
We
the
know.
and all the stuff that I taught them that didn't have anything to do with anything except like the purple spot on the wall. And I hope that it's still there. I hope that purple spot is still on the wall.
Oh.
You know, you talk about a mark, and the reality is that we all leave marks, but not in the ways that you think. The marks that we leave that is the strongest is actually the vibrations that we leave. And that, I mean, positive or negative, but the vibrations that you carry through your life all the way to the end of the life is what is left.
Mm.
That's not going away.
Yeah.
Can't hear you. Arlene, you're muted.
I just turned that thing off and on because I don't want to buzz in you guys' ear, you
No,
know.
it seems to be working right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about what we leave, our impression that we leave in the world, Eric, and who's walking around with something that they got from that impression that we
That's
like
right.
that purple hair thing. I'm wondering if that's still on the wall. And I had another kid that would get mad at me, and he had all these rings, and he'd go like this on the glass on my door. I wonder if that's still there, you know, probably. And the feeling about that, and he would like hate me because of what came up for him when we did some of that work. And he had this hate and what he did with that and how he left his mark on the world. And I don't know what it is now, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Carol, do you have any words to sum up our discussion today?
Just remember that you can make a choice. You can choose to change the channels, or you could stay stuck if you wish. You don't have to change the channels. I would recommend it though.
I agree. Good advice. Good advice. Well, thank you everybody for your participation. It was really good to have everybody's feedback on this topic. So we'll have a closing song. It's called Open the Eyes of My Heart by Michael W. Smith. Well, as an independent spiritual community, the Abundant Life Center is entirely supported by God's love and your gifts. And if you would like to make a contribution to the community, we will share an email with ways that you can do that. But I know that everyone makes a contribution in many different ways. And so thanks to each one of us here and those who are supporting us for the support for Abundant Life Center. And now, as we close our service, we'll greet each other with namaste. So you can unmute. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.